Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be reacting to Project Alpha episode 6. And again, I just really want to say thank you so much for everyone who's come along this journey with me so far. It's been fun watching it and getting to experience it, even though I am like 2.5 years late. And I'm happy that you've all enjoyed coming along with me. And I know it's annoying, but please subscribe to this channel if you have enjoyed it so far. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm only a few hundred away. So please come and join the dramatic family if you are so inclined. But Project Alpha episode 6, this is another competition alpha episode. So if memory serves, we're going to see Dewey
It's definitely hung, but nice try, babes.
perform against Lego and Fluke. There's been a lot of chatter in the comments about Fluke, which has been fun. I've been in the comments responding. So if you left a comment, I hope I was able to respond to it if it, was related to that. And I think my opinion on Fluke is he's clearly incredibly talented. I think you can't deny that. But I just think that when GMMTV made this show, they already had kind of a concept that they were going to go for with Lycan. And, on top of looking for people who were talented and had the actual like physical skills, they were looking for people who fit the image that they already had. I don't know that for a fact. Obviously, that's just a theory. But following along with that theory, I think it makes sense why Fluke doesn't make it into the final group, even though he is incredibly talented. He just doesn't fit the vibe image that the other members have to me. I think I mentioned something like that before, and I'll reiterate that I don't know how much of that is colored by my perception of knowing who makes it into the final group. I don't know if I would have thought this same thing if I had watched this show when it originally aired before we knew who was in the group. And part of it could also be editing, the way they edit the show, because by the time they're editing the show, they know who's making it in. So they're going to frame people in certain ways. So I don't really know how much is a genuine belief of mine and how much of my belief is being framed by the reality TV of it all. But those are just my thoughts on the Fluke matter. And I am heartened that he goes on to be an actor, and he was in Wandy Good Day. He was my favorite part of Wandy Good Day. And I think he's going to be in another show that's coming out soon. So he has taken a new direction in his life, and it is going very well for him. And really quick, before we jump in, please make sure to like this video. And like I said before, please subscribe to my channel if you are interested, and share this video with a friend, as well as follow me on all my other social medias if you would like to. They will be in my link tree in the description box below. You can find me on TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, Tumblr, and right here. As per usual, I will probably be jumping around more to the performances, giving my thoughts, and then summarizing the judges' thoughts, because that's what I'm the most interested in. And I don't think you guys want a rehashing of all of the judges' comments. I feel like the performances are the most fun part. So that's really what I'm going to focus on showing here. And of course, like the final judging decision part. That's always fun too. So let's get started. We have a very fun cast of celebrity judges this week also. I didn't know that they did celebrity judges like this, like the GMMTV people that like we know now came on to judge. That's so fun. So this week they have Off Gun, First Cow, and a woman named Jenny. So that'll be interesting. I enjoyed last week's celebrity judge panels, so let's see what these guys have in store. Oh, I think Jenny was in Jack and Joker. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think so. But first, we get a performance of the titular song. You know the alpha, I wonder if it gets tiring or annoying performing the same song over and over. Especially if you have the same people performing the same parts. Like so far, we've had all the same alphas. So I wonder if they keep the backup dancers in the same position or if they like change them up. It's fun, of course. We saw it last week. Everybody did very well. They're only going to get better because they're doing the same choreography in the same song over and over. So of course they're good. Of course they did a great job. They always do. Love the alphas in their furry jackets, of course. But what did the judges think? So the celebrity judges were very entertained. They had nice things to say. They're joking around. They seem like a good crowd, or a good group. They seem to have good energy with each other, the celebrity judges. But tell me why when the MC asked First and Cal their opinions, because they're sitting in the back, two in the back, and then it's Afghan and Jenny in the front, three. The MC was like, "Oh, what about you guys in the back? What did you think?" Instead of like looking at the camera or looking at the MC or looking at the contestants and responding, they immediately turned and looked at each other and just like talked to each other about what they thought. And then they finished and turned back around. I know it's a popular, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a joke. It's a well known thing in the fandom how obsessed they are with each other in a good way. They're very close. It seems like they have a very close and good relationship. But it's just funny to see it play out in even these small little ways. And our judge panel, of course, was very praiseful, was very nice. They said that it's amazing to see how far they've all come from the start until now. And even Zani said that she's so sad because she is rooting for them all so much and she sees how much they really want it. But there's 16 of them and she knows that like even more are going to have to get eliminated. But that they're all very proud of them and they're rooting for them and that they've all improved so much and I thought it was sweet. But enough sweetness. Now it's time for the alpha competition. Pardon me, it is not called the alpha competition. It is called Challenge Alpha, which is a much better name. First up, we have Fluke. Oh, he's laying down. I would do the name of this song a disservice if I attempted to pronounce it, so I won't. ฉันจะพร้อมจะทำทุกทางก็เพื่อให้เราอยู่ด้วยกันกอดฉันไว้เลยอย่าอยู่กับฉันเลยคนที่ลืมแฟนเก่าไม่ได้แต่ฉันไม่ควรได้รับความรักจากใครทุกๆที่ที่ฉันพยายามมองหน้าเธอแต่สุดท้ายมันก็เบลอกลายเป็นเขาเสียงของเธอบอกรักฉันในทุกคืนตื่นขึ้นมาฉันก็ลืมฉันคิดถึงแต่เขาแต่สุดท้ายรักฉันจริงได้โปรดทิ้งฉันไปได้โปรดเดินหนีฉันไปให้ไกลอย่ากอดฉันไว้เลยอย่าอยู่กับฉันเลยเพราะว่าทุกทีฉันมองหน้าเธอก็เบลอกลายเป็นเขามีแต่เขาในใจมีแต่เขาทุกทีที่ฉันกอดเธอไว้ฉันคิดเหงาอยากให้เธอปวดร้าวถ้าเธอรักฉันจริงได้โปรดทิ้งฉันไปได้โปรดเดินหนีฉันไปให้ไกลอย่ากอดฉันไว้เลยอย่าอยู่กับฉันเลยคนที่ลืมแฟนเก่าไม่ได้แต่ฉันไม่ควรเพราะว่าทุกทีฉันมองหน้าเธอก็เปล่ากลายเป็นเขามีแต่เขาในใจมีแต่เขาเพราะว่าทุก course, his was the first performance, but that was so good. The emotions were on point, the story was on point, the singing, the dancing, everything was on. There were some people in the comments saying on my previous reaction to the previous episode that they don't think that Fluke got judged fairly in this episode. So I'm bracing myself for some negative comments from the judges, but I didn't know what they meant because I hadn't seen this episode yet. And a few of them even said this was their favorite performance of the entire show. And I see it now. I can see why. Because I can see how after watching this, him not making it into the final group, even though I have said I understand why, and I do, even still, but in the moment, watching this show live, if I had gotten to the finale and him not making it into the final group, this seems like a crime. I liked that he went with something so different from what he'd done previously as well. Like he had that more trot-esque R&B type song that he sang for the previous challenge, and this one's a lot more of like a moody heartbreak type song, and he conveyed the emotion beautifully. I wish I had more to say, but I really don't. It was incredibly good, and I've thought he was very talented from the start, but this really puts it into perspective that he had the talent to make the group by a long shot. I guess all I can imagine is that he just didn't fit the vibe that they wanted for Lycan, because there is absolutely no other reason he shouldn't have made it. Not that the others aren't also talented is the thing. I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that, but it's like we could have had a 6-person group. That was really, really good. Let's see what the judges have to say. Also, just so you know, I am joining you a bit later in the evening with a glass of wine. So, pardon me as I sip this while I watch. It was really funny to see him transform from the performance to when they like all cheer for him and he's like in character, but then he's like, oh my God. Love. Overall, the judges actually were a lot more praised him a lot more than I anticipated from the comments people had left. They praised him a lot. Like I said, they were basically saying that like he was 1,000 out of 100, that he performed such a difficult song like so incredibly well, and that from like start to finish he was in the emotion and in the moment, and he never once broke. And they were just complimenting him and praising him so much. Pitor did say, one of the judges, that he thought that Fluke was getting lost in the like set dressing of it, basically, like the choreography and the outfit and the na na na. But he seemed to be in the minority of those thoughts, and I would disagree in the sense that if this had been Fluke's first song, I don't think they would have said that. But because they know him a little more now and they've seen him do other things, I think that's kind of what made him say that. But like, you know, to be an artist, I think you have to be really versatile and you have to really contain multitudes and be able to tap into a lot of different archetypes of yourself and a lot of different emotions. And Fluke did that flawlessly here. And that's one thing that really impressed me, was that the dance was so contemporary, which a few of the judges mentioned. And contemporary is hard. It is so easy to make contemporary dance look silly or like a parody of itself. But he avoided that completely. His dance looked super authentic. He looked very comfortable doing it. And he just owned it. I know I already praised him so much, but this was a great performance. He absolutely slayed because he's an alpha. This is the moment where I can officially tell you I forgot that Hong was the best beta and not Doi. So please forgive me for that. Completely forgot until now. So we're about to watch Hong's performance, and he mentioned that in previous weeks he always was kind of showing different facets of himself with every performance and kind of showing the different sides of his personality, and that this week is going to be yet another new side of his personality. So I'm very intrigued because I think so far he's done a good job subverting expectations of a rapper. He's been extremely silly and sweet and just cute and just shown this energy you wouldn't expect. So I'm thinking that he might be showing a bit more of a maybe a tough guy type persona. Maybe I'm wrong. So let's watch his performance and find out.
Mirror, 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 mirror on the wall. Who's the freaking sad face? Listen, baby, yes we are. Mirror, 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 mirror on the wall. Who's the freaking sad face? Listen, baby, yes we are. Yes we are.
This is very different from Fluke's performance.
Are. We Yes we are. ผมยังมีพวกพ้องที่รอเล่นมัลติเพลเยอร์เห็นการเนี้ยผมใส่แต่เวอร์ซาเช่หนังอาลิเกเตอร์แต่กระดูกข้างในผมมาแข็งเป็นเหล็กแบบหนัง The Terminator แค่เห็นตัวเองโบรกเครียดจนคิวขมวดแต่ตอนนี้พุ่งยังกันนาซะตอนที่ปล่อยจรวดต้องการสุขคนสลดเห็นคนสะอาดและเห็นความสกปรกสกิลและสะบัดเห็นความกล้าหาญและความตื่นตระหนกเห็นนรกในใจและสวรรค์อยู่ในอกมองเห็นทุกอย่างยกเว้นศัตรูชนะตลกพอเพียงผู้เดียวที่เราเอาชนะมีแค่ตัวเองคือแรงกระจก Mirror, 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 mirror on the wall. Who's the freaking savage? Listen, baby, yes we are. Yes we are. Die, baby, we're in fire. 6 feet under where you lie. Tall the grave I stand. Who the call that I can make you my dang and the mountain. But take this like get back to yourself. We won't get the out that I chose to say farewell. Go chase dream, make it mainstream. LA dream, go feel love, go live. Stay evolving, it'll be easy. Make some friends along the way. Some I lost, but some still stay. Promise myself to be better every day because only the best can pay off. Mirror, 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 mirror on the wall. Who's the freaking sad face? Listen, baby, yes we are. Yeah, baby.
So we did see a different side of him today, which is good. It's good to see different facets. And like I say, I always want the disclaimer out there that rap is not my genre. I am not well versed in it. I do not know it well. I cannot speak in an educated and experienced manner on it. But I will do my best to vocalize my thoughts. To me, this was probably the weakest rap that Hong has done so far. And I don't mean energy. He brought stage presence. He brought charisma. He brought energy. I mean pure vocal. His voice sounded raw, like hoarse, like, and maybe that's the style of the song. I don't know the original song, so that could just be a stylistic choice he carried over. And maybe it's a stylistic choice he just decided to make. But he's got usually such a smooth like flow, and I mean in the way that like everything that comes out of his mouth sounds so natural. It sounds easy for him to say, I guess is what I'm trying to convey. And this song felt laborious for him to sing, for him to rap. There were a few parts where it felt like he was ahead of the beat. Like he was so concentrated on getting all of the notes out and all the words out that he was rushing. And the beat is fast. There's no need to rush, but it's similar to when you're performing like a jazz song. When I was in show choir, I performed some jazz songs, and jazz is not fast just because it sounds fast, in the sense that like matching the beat is not as a rushed experience as you think. And I think he was so concentrated on getting all the words out. I think potentially because so many of them were in English, and he expressed previously in a previous episode some discomfort with some of the English. And this was a very English heavy song. And so I think it was more of a struggle for him to get it all out. But then there was a time later where he was lagging behind the beat. And not in the sense that he's doing like a syncopation or a triplet or like purposefully kind of doing something to catch your ear and interrupt the flow. That's not what it sounded like to me, at least. And maybe that is what he was doing. But to me, it didn't sound purposeful. Like it didn't sound, it just didn't sound purposeful enough to have been on purpose. But those were only 2 points though. I would say the rest of the time he was very with the energy, which was good. This was definitely like the harshest performance he's given, the least pleasant to listen to. I'm not really sure how else to describe it. And he's got flash, he's got stage presence, he has confidence, he has charisma. But comparing him strictly to Fluke's performance that we just saw, and it's hard to compare because it's like a rap song versus like a slow ballad, they're not the same. But I think Fluke came with all the stage presence and charisma that Hong also came with. But Fluke was coming with vocals, and Hong's rap just, it didn't sound his best to me. And the dancing also, like, I was enamored of Fluke's dance. It was so out of the realm of Project Alpha, but it still was so good. And there was some dancing in Hong's performance, obviously, but it was not the focus. He was doing a lot more freestyle, which I guess maybe is what the judges want, because the judges mentioned that they prefer Fluke's freestyle, or the one judge who had the negative comment. And I love Hong, is the thing. Don't get me wrong, love him to death. Strictly comparing the two performances, I think Fluke's was better, but let's see what the judges have to say. And I'm not saying he didn't bring energy. Like if I had been watching this live, or if I had been in like the club and like he was performing on the stage, oh, I'd be hyped. I'd be hooting and hollering. I would be having a grand old time. But from the point of view of a competition show, those are my thoughts. In the little confessionals, they interviewed Diao, who's the one who has the pink hair now, I believe. And he said something that I find that I kind of touched on a little bit before, how Hong's a very good rapper, which he is. He's an amazing rapper. And in the Alpha group currently, there's Nut who raps, but Diao was saying that there's not like a true rapper in the Alpha group. I cannot speak to that designation personally, so I will take his word for it. But again, I'm thinking that's why I think my thought process is kind of along the right lines of like why Fluke doesn't make it into the group is it's not that he's not incredibly talented, but it's that they had this idea of what they wanted to build and he just didn't quite fit into it. And it wasn't a testament to his talent or his skill or his charisma. It was just a testament to like, these are our slots. And he just didn't fit into the slots. So that's a little bit of a confirmation of some of my thoughts. The judges were very kind. They always are, which I really appreciate. And they were saying that he did great. And a lot of them also mentioned, and they even Hong mentioned in a confessional interview, that a really strong like rapper first, like that Nut can rap, but he can also sing incredibly well. But like they don't have like a rapper first in the Alpha group. And
Hong is also a lyricist and wrote some of the raps. He sang in his Challenge Alpha performance. I can't believe I forgot to mention it.
And several of the judges and Hong himself even mentioned that that is something the Alpha group is clearly missing. So that, once again, it just furthers my thought process that, I mean, obviously they're building a group here, so they need people to fill these different positions. And so that's one of the reasons that I think, okay, I don't want to say it's like, oh, it's one of the reasons that he's going to make it in the group and do well, because I get it. It's like they know that the kind of skills they want these people to have. So, they're like, okay, we need at least one person who's like a rapper first. And not that others can't rap, but that like he's going to be like the lead rapper, I guess, for lack of a better word. And we need an incredibly strong dancer and we need several incredibly strong vocalists. And if a few of them can kind of cross into other roles as well, like you can sing and rap, or you can dance really well and sing, then great. So I'm thinking that's kind of what their thought process is, which I've already said. I totally understand. My baby has joined us, so you know what that means. Cat for everywhere. But a very cute face present on all of our screens. So up next is Lego's performance, which I'm so excited to see because he hasn't gotten a solo performance since episode 1. Winnie is also excited. My thoughts are, of course, he's a delight. He's an amazing performer, as always. The dancing was, nobody holds a candle to him at dancing. He's got amazing stage presence. He has a good voice, and I think he knows that the vocals are not necessarily his super strength, but with practice, he'll get there for sure. I'm surprised he chose such a rap heavy song, which, in my opinion, rap is really not his strong suit. Again, like, I'm not saying I can do better, but I'm saying that it's really not his strength, I don't think. So I'm surprised he chose such a rap heavy song. But I really did like the song. It was very like rock ish, which I'm really into. And I liked that there was like the maestro. So first it's like he's controlling the music, but then it's like he becomes the music that is then controlled by the maestro. And then he throws away the maestro stick, the cue stick. I don't know.
Apparently, it's a conductor's baton.
And then it's like the music is broken free. He's broken free. So I liked that. He's amazing. He's an amazing performer. I just don't have anything else to say. So let's see what the judges have to say. And let's see if I can get Winnie to stop picking a hole in my linen pants. They did a quick little confessional interviews with some of the rest of the cats. And William was like, he's amazing. I can't believe he can remember that many dance moves. So true. So the judges had a mix of praise and critique. And I think one of the judges said it well when they said, like, what you're good at, you're so incredibly good at that it makes it easier to focus on your weaknesses. And I would say that's true because they gave him a lot more critique than they gave either Hong or Fluke. And I get it on the one hand, but also I think that like his performance and his stage presence and his dancing, they all said they're like it's the best of anyone here. It's top tier. It's check check check. But one of them even said you don't have to become so super amazing at singing overnight, but you just have to get it up to the standard. And I was like, maybe that's a translation thing. I would be kind of offended if somebody said that to me. Be like, what do you mean? I have to get it? I'm here on this show, aren't I? That means I have to be doing something, right? What do you mean get it up to the standard? But it might have just been a translation thing. I don't know. A few of them said to improve his singing. And one of the judges even said, like, nothing about your dancing stood out to me. I think anybody here could have done it. And I'm like, I think that's a testament to Lego's skill that he did it so well and he made it look so easy that you think anybody here could have done it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I could easily name about 2/3 of these contestants that could not have done half of what Lego just did on that stage. And a couple of them are sitting in alpha seats right now. But I know that Lego is an alpha the whole time. So I wonder, I mean, I don't really know. Again, I don't really know how this show works. Like, I'm not behind the scenes. But I'm wondering if, like, everybody gets really similar critiques in the sense of, like, a mix of praise and criticism. But then in the post-production is when it's edited to make it more tense. Like, oh, it makes it sound like this person only got praise. And, like, this person was the only one who was getting all these critiques. But in reality, they're all getting a mix of both. And I don't know, because I mean, just hearing what ends up in the episode, they were critiquing Lego so much, and I'm like, I know he becomes an alpha at the end of this episode. He's still an alpha, so I'm like, there's so much critique. Like, going purely based off the critique that we receive here in this episode, I would think Hong and Fluke would go on back to the alpha seats, and that Lego would go back and be a beta. I'm just intrigued. It's intriguing to see the process. Now let's continue to the alpha selection. I don't know what I'm sure they have a much more clever name for it than that. Actually, really quick, let me just say, poor Lego's response to his feedback. He's like, no, I'm not upset about the feedback at all. It looks like everyone was having so much fun. As he looks near tears, and they show a behind the scenes footage of him what looks like wiping tears from his eyes, but also could have just been sweat, and they edited it to make it more dramatic. But I'm like, damn. Also, first, I think we're getting an all alpha performance, or I'm not sure. Let's see. It is not an all alpha performance. It is a special performance by William, Nut, Pim Pim, Otto, Nikki, and Diao. I don't know how these people were selected. Maybe it's the votes. And I just missed that part. Let's watch their performance. I love a harmony.
รักก่อนนอนกล่อมเธอให้ฝันดีคงต้องซ้อมมีแฟนก่อนก็เห็นเธอมาส่องดูก็รู้ว่าเธอมีใจใช่ไหมเธอ A-L-P-H-A เฮ้ยเฮ้ยไม่ได้ก็ชอบกันแน่คนที่สอดจอมาแล้วเตรียมไปขอแม่ไม่ได้ก็ผิดแน่ๆไม่ได้แค่ให้ความหวังก็ถามอย่างเดียวนี่ต้องชื่อลูกหรือยังอ่ะคือจะคิดเป็นวันแต่งงานเพื่อนเจ้าบ่าวต้องอยู่แหกขันหมากก็สบายแล้วเปล่าเพื่อนคงเหงาแต่ก็คงเข้าใจว่ารออะไรกันอยู่ไปเก็บเสื้อผ้าเลยไปเธอได้คบเธอแค่วันเธอทุกวันตอนนี้ฉันหยุดความคิดไม่ได้แล้วจะไปเลือกชุดแต่งงานดูแหวนคู่สักทีวันวาเลนไทน์ปีนี้ไปเที่ยวที่ไหนดีคงต้องซ้อมมีแฟนก่อนก็เห็นเธอมาส่องดูก็รู้ว่าเธอมีใจจะลงรูปคู่แบบไหนต้องลองดูสักทีจะฝึกบอกรักก่อนนอนกล่อมเธอให้ฝันดีคืนคงต้องสมัยเธอ
That song was precious. I could not stop smiling like the entire time. The dance was so cute. All their energy was so cute. Their vocals were really good. I love harmonies and like multi-part harmonies, and they had so many harmonies in this song, and they all did really, really well on them. I've noticed it before, but it's so fun to me to see. I think it's Otto. He brings the sass to like every single performance that he's in. He just has this energy to him that is so unique to him, and it makes him stand out so in a good way in all of the groups that he's in, and it's so fun to see. And it was fun to see, you know, like Nut and William do more like cutesy little songs, and it was just really cute. It sounded honestly a lot like a song that like should have been in My School President. It reminded me a lot of Just Being Friendly, or just being friends, just friends. I think it's Just Being Friendly. Like not because it's like not the same, but like kind of the vibe is the same. And I kept on thinking like, was this in My School President? Was this in My School President? If somebody in the comments tells me this wasn't My School President, I'm gonna like scream. In a good way. All right. Now who is going back to the Alpha Head thrones to wear their big furry jackets with their name tags on them? Let's find out together.
นี่แหละโฉมหน้าของ3คนที่วันนี้ทำเต็มที่เพื่อตำแหน่งอัลฟากันทั้ง3คนเลยนะครับก่อนที่จะประกาศผลครับศิลปินจาก ThamePo มีอะไรอยากจะพูดถึงโชว์ของทั้ง3คนไหมครับออฟครับ
ครับผลออกมาเป็นยังไงพี่ว่าเราไม่ควรเสียใจกับมันแล้วก็ดีใจไปกับเพื่อนๆที่เขาทำเต็มที่เหมือนเราดีกว่าครับ
Off is so sweet in his Adidas tracksuit with his sunglasses on inside. No, I love him.
ผลการตัดสินของกรรมการได้ข้อสรุปเป็นที่เรียบร้อยครับลำดับถัดไปนี้จะเป็นการประกาศตำแหน่งอัลฟา
I have to pause just to like iterate to the audience. It is insane to me that Gunn is older than me because he looks like a fresh-faced infant just birthed into the world. Like his face shines like the moon or the sun or something else that is shiny. He has not a wrinkle or line on his face. And yes, he's wealthy and has access to all of the best skin treatments and things like that. And I don't know, Botox, I don't know. But it just dazzles me. Wow. What is it like to be you? Anyway, let's find out who the alpha is.
ลำดับถัดไปนี้จะเป็นการประกาศตำแหน่งอัลฟาขอเชิญพี่โตครับ
วันนี้เป็นวันที่เราทั้ง5คนหนักใจมากคนแรกที่จะได้นั่งเก้าอี้อัลฟาคือ
เป็นใครก็ได้ผมแฮปปี้หมดใช่เป็นใครก็ได้เลย
ก็มีแหละแวบนึงแบบเผื่อจะเป็นผมเพราะว่า70-30 ผมว่าผมก็มีโอกาสกลับไปเป็นอัลฟานะเพราะผมก็ใส่สุดๆเหมือนกันนะ
ฟลุกครับ
Fluke! Oh! From the comments on my last post, this is surprising. Deserved, in my opinion, having watched it myself, but only surprising because of the comments, not surprising because I don't think he deserves it, because he 100%
ว่าวัน
deserves
เนี้
it.
ยเป็นการแข่งขันของ 3 ตำแหน่ง กองหน้ากองกลางกองหลังมันเทียบกันไม่ได้มันคนละสีคนละโทนหมดเลย แต่พอเราเอา
I do like that the judge says they're all unique and they almost can't be compared because they all fulfill different roles. I
ต้องยอ
agree.
มรับว่าความสามารถของฟลุกอยู่ในระดับที่เราทั้ง 5 คนบอกว่า
Fluke was an all-arounder today. He showed his amazing
เชิญกลับขึ้น
skill.
บัลลังก์อัลฟาได้เลยครับฟลุกครับ
รู้สึกว่าดีใจแล้วก็นั่นแหละครับขอบคุณกรรมการที่คอมเมนต์มาให้เรามีจุดที่เรารู้ว่าเราต้องแก้ตรงไหนแล้วก็พุทตัวเองขึ้นมาแล้วก็ขอบคุณการแข่งขันแล้วกันที่ทำให้เรามาถึงจุดนี้ได้ที่มันผมก็จะพัฒนาต่อไปครับ
เหลืออีก1 คนเท่านั้น ที่จะได้ตำแหน่งอัลฟาครับ ส่วนอีก1 คนจะต้องไปเป็นเบต้าช่วงเวลาที่เรารอคอยครับ ดูซิว่าตำแหน่งอัลฟาจะมีการเปลี่ยนแปลงหรือเปล่า
Will there finally be a change to the lineup? Let's see.
การตัดสินของพวกเราในทุกๆ ครั้งเนี่ยเรารู้ว่าคือเราต้องตัดสินเราต้องคิดกันหนักมากๆประชุมกันนี่ถือเป็นการประชุมที่นานมากๆเพราะเรารู้ว่าเราแบกความฝันของน้องๆเอาไว้อยู่เราต้องรับผิดชอบสิ่งนี้ด้วยนะครับก็ประกาศเลยแล้วกันนะครับคนนั้นก็คือ
เราเองก็แอบหวังให้ตัวเองกลับไปนั่งตรงนั้นได้
Song is so dramatic.
รู้สึกว่าถ้าพี่ฮงจะได้เป็นเราก็ไม่เสียใจเลยเพราะมันเป็นสิ่งที่เหมือนแบบตอบแทนในความพยายามของเขาทั้งอาทิตย์อะประมาณนั้น
คิดว่าจะเป็นชื่อฮงไหมก็มีแต่ฮงคิดว่ามันเป็น70-30เหมือนเดิม
Still 70-30. In his favor or in Lego's favor?
คนนั้นก็คือเลโก้ครับ
Lego! It's like I knew it in my head, but I was still like holding my breath. I would agree. As much as I love Hong, he did not do good enough to unseat any of the alphas, or at least Lego and Fluke this week. All right, that was a fun episode. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. Next week, I think, will be yet another challenge beta. I believe there's going to be 2 teams of 8 from what I saw. Yes, that's how 16 is divided. No, pardon me, I just skimmed through. There were going to be 3 teams of 5, 5, and 6. Or wait, are we subtracting the alphas? Do the alphas make it 16? So there'd be 12. So then it'd be 3 teams of 4. That makes a little bit more sense. We'll find out next week. This is what I get for not watching all of the episode. But honestly, after the performances, I just can't be bothered. I'm like, oh, I'll just figure it out next week when I start watching it. It'll become pretty clear then. I think I conveyed a lot of my thoughts this episode. During the episode, my thoughts on Fluke, Lego, and Hong, the group, XYZ, and all of that. I don't think I have anything else to add here at the end. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to see if/when any of the alphas will be dethroned, will have their claws removed, as it were. I'm sure it must happen at some point, at least once, at least to Fluke, probably. But we will just have to wait and see and find out together. Also, if you would be so kind, I would really appreciate you not posting any spoilers in the comments. This is my first time watching this show all the way through, and I really like having a raw, totally natural first reaction to everything. But what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. I love chatting with all of you. Or follow me on my other socials and chat with me there. It's all in the description box below. But that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Ow!